Hello and welcome to episode 72 of the Rhody podcast. Today I'm joined by senior linebacker and running back out of St. Ray's Academy. He's the Rhode Island football commit, 2022 Rhode Island Gatorade High School Football Player of the Year, Moses Meus. Thank you so much for taking the time. How are you today, Moses?
Yes, sir. Of course, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I love the hoodie. I love you
Yeah.
repping the Kini Boo already.
Yes,
Great
sir.
start so far to the interview. How you feeling? I'm sure
I'm feeling
definitely.
good. I'm excited. Uh, New things to come. Uh, I'm just very excited.
Yeah, I'm sure you're definitely relieved too. You got that senior year out of the way. Obviously, you got
Yeah,
the Super Bowl championship. I'm sure you're definitely looking forward to that next chapter. And I definitely got a lot of questions about what you're most looking forward to and a little bit about this past year. So I'm just excited to get to know you and for some of the Rhody fans who may be tuning into this to get to know you and what they can expect out of you for the next 3 or 4 years. So. We'll jump right in. First off, I want to just congratulate you, again on an incredible senior season,
thank
and
you.
your commitment to Rhode Island, of course. Can you just briefly share, what this season was like for you, and then in the end, why you chose URI?
This season was more so like an impact season. Um, Freshman year was more like freshman year was a little slow. It was just like just getting myself ready for like the high school level. I actually started on varsity my freshman year at DN. But throughout the years I started moving more towards like linebacker so I could get more like sideline to sideline. Um in my sophomore year, we lost in the championship, and my junior year we lost in the championship again. So the same 16 freshmen that we had our freshman year, we just came this senior year with like a whole different mindset, a lot of intensity, a lot of hard work, like outside of practice times, and we're just really dedicated. We knew our goal. It was to get this championship, and it just feels like it's great. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's just manifesting it and it's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And I actually didn't know you started out at FIAN, but to make that transition and then it sounds like, you guys come in every year, one of the top teams in the conference, obviously have a chip on your shoulder and there's no better time to do it than senior year and to kind of leave it all out there. And again, like you said, it was an impact year. It sounds like, you really left it out there and you wanted to finish off your high school career with a bang. I want to get into a little bit more about, the team and some of the success that you guys had later on in the interview, but first, I gotta ask. We were talking about it a little bit before we started recording. I saw the commitment clip, and you faked out a lot of people thinking you were headed to West Point, Army West Point. So, did you come up with that on the fly, or was that something you had planned? What went into
Um,
that?
it was more so on the fly. My top two are actually URI and West Point, so it more so just came down to like where I was more comfortable being. You know what I mean? Rhode Island's home. Growing up, it was always just a dream playing home. So, like, why not Rhode Island? You know what I mean? Just representing for like from where I came from. Um, and yeah, that played a huge impact on my decision. Got some dogs there, like my boy Andre, um, Tosin, just a whole lot of guys that I've been playing against, and I just know who's there, and man, we got a squad, so I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
For sure. Yeah, I can definitely speak on because I covered the team this last year while I was also doing high school football for Channel 6. We definitely have a lot of seniors on URI graduating this year, but I'm looking forward to seeing, what Coach Fleming, what he's bringing in, some of the talent that he's bringing in, by way of the transfer portal, along with high school recruits. Again, when I saw that we got you, I was like, man, I got to reach out. This is a guy that I think, in a couple of years down the road, they'll definitely be saying your name a lot. So I'm definitely looking forward to hearing that and to seeing you in Kingston, down at Meade Stadium. But when you took your official visit at URI, I'm curious, did you have the chance to meet any of the players? You said you had some connections with a lot of them just from playing with them, but did you have the chance to meet any of them along with the coaches and also check out the facilities?
Oh yeah, definitely. I hung out with a couple of the players. My like tour guy was Andre, so like me and Andre have been close. Andre came from St. Ray's too. Um, but along with that, I'm just really close with some players at URI, like AD Adebayo, Andre, obviously. Marquise Buchanan, Tosin, and the list just goes on. Like I know a lot of people on like the roster, so um, just going in, I'm more comfortable just knowing who I'm playing with, and I feel like the chemistry is gonna come, and we're just gonna have a great season. So yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely been a while since they've made it back to the playoffs, but I feel like, they inch a little bit closer every single year. And I think by adding, pieces like you who understand what it's like to play in Rhode Island or within New England, in the Ocean State, and also play along with guys that you've been on the field with, at the high school level, sometimes just from practicing with, again, guys that you have relationships, with prior. I think, obviously football is a team sport, so that chemistry will come in time. And again, it may
yes,
not
sir.
come right away, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing, what you guys can accomplish in such a short time. Because I really think, just a couple more pieces, a couple more wins. And Rhode Island, they got a bid in that tournament. So, I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing, what
Yes,
you can
sir. Me
do both
too.
on the offensive and defensive side. So it'll
Yes,
be nice.
sir.
So you were down to Army West Point, like you mentioned, Wake Forest as well, right? That was correct.
That was a PWO actually, so it
Okay.
wasn't really, you know, like my top. That's why I just had more like a top two.
Gotcha.
Just yeah,
Okay,
West
so
Point, URI.
yeah, so you were down to West Point, you were down to URI. But now that that
Yes, sir.
process is over, does it feel a little bit sweeter, knowing you're
Yeah,
coming closer
definitely.
to home?
It was a huge weight on my shoulders. Just like think about it. It's a stressful process,
Yeah,
honestly. I never really like obviously as a kid just growing up, I always just imagined like, oh man, all these coaches calling me and stuff like that. And like when it came, it's like really stressful. It was just like, but at the end of the day, I talked to my coaches and it was just like, you just gotta pick where you want to be, or where you feel best, like, or what feels like home. So at the end of the day, I chose Rhode Island.
yeah, and I think it'll be a comfortable fit too. You'll be closer to home. I gotta also ask, you talk a little bit about, being from Rhode Island and playing at St. Ray's, but what is it gonna feel like? Obviously you've tried on the jersey before when you had your official visit. But what's it gonna feel like that first game at Meade Stadium? You're repping the Keeney Blues or whatever it is, and you got your home state, across your chest. I can't imagine, just goosebumps, just thinking about it.
Yeah, that yeah, that's gonna be crazy. I'm definitely excited. This summer we're gonna get a lot of work done. So I'm definitely gonna be prepared for my first time stepping on the field, and it's gonna be exciting. A lot of things, a lot of good things, just like planned ahead, planned for my career. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. You got to put in the work too, and the results will come. So I'm looking forward to it. A few more questions for you. So for Rhody fans to just kind of learn a little bit more about you, I'm curious. What attracted you to the sport, and what attracted you to the game of football growing up. I understand you also played basketball, but what was it about football?
Um, so I played football at like the age of 5. I played flag, but I wasn't really interested in flag. So I kind of quit and I saw my brother playing, my older brother. My brother's what who really got me into playing football. I saw him playing. I was just like, man, I want to be better than him at that. You know what I mean? It was just like a whole bunch of like competitiveness like between me and my brother, like who's better and stuff like that. Like any sport we played, like basketball, whatever. We actually played golf too.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, it's just competitive all over. So I started playing again when I was like 7. Um, I started just fitting in with like just tackling, and for the most part, I just always found love for defense. I just feel like um on the field, defense is just like where like I just excel in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
um, but yeah,
Yeah. For all the guests that I've had on this show, there's one question I love to ask, and that is, what is your motivation or your why? Why you do it?
my why is my why. Man, that's like that's a deep question. My why for me to keep on playing is definitely to support my family. Um, Obviously almost every player like just playing the game of football. it brings so much to just like it teaches you a lot, like love, how to play like as a team, how to communicate. It just it brings you so many life lessons, and football isn't something that I want to stop playing like right after college or something like that. I want to play till I get into that professional level until like, I get old and I have to stop playing. But what really just like drives me is just to put my family just in a better situation, you know what I mean, financially. And just like to live life comfortably and to keep on playing football. Football is fun.
Yeah,
So
for
yeah,
sure. When you
it's
got
like
a passion, you just got to keep going with it, and that is a good
exactly.
answer. Yeah, no, obviously family first, and I think you bring up a really good point in that answer is that football teaches you what it's like to have a family, on and off the field, and to have that brotherhood kind of camaraderie. So I definitely think again, I asked that question to everyone, including some of the football guys as well on the team, and it's always family, and you see that in every sport, but I feel like you see it a little bit more in football because you just spend so much time with those guys from training to practices to on the field to road trips. So, yeah, you
Exactly.
you know better
Exactly.
than me. So,
Yeah.
for sure. A couple more questions for you. So, is there a player, maybe at the professional level, collegiate level, that you, I guess, model your game after or try and compare your style after?
Um, Not exactly, but growing up, I used to watch Leonard Fournette when he was at LSU.
Okay.
So that's when I started playing more running back. I loved watching Leonard Fournette, how explosive he was. So I was like, man, let me try this, you know what I mean? Um, for kind of the most part, that's where I got seven from. Um, so really just watching Leonard Fournette. Uh, Professionally, I really never like sat down and watched a professional season, like just watching like one team play. But it was more just like watching college football. I feel like it was more exciting and just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Three more questions or four more questions actually. This one's a little bit beefy though. So you had a remarkable performance as we talked about Division two level for St. Ray's this season. I'm gonna try and read off all the stats because I have them here. But first on the defensive side, you recorded 103 tackles, six for a loss, one sack, two interceptions, three forced fumbles, two block punts, and one block field goal. I got to stop there because that was only defense. On the offensive end, you rushed for 76 times for 606 yards, averaging nearly 8 yards per carry. Scored four touchdowns in addition, catching 16 passes for 286 yards and five touchdowns. You also led the team to the Super Bowl championship. You won that, and you won the MVP of that game. Glad I got through that question. That was a lot there, but could you just share, what it was like, what made this season, so special for you and your teammates?
Honestly, for the most part, the build up, just the losses in the championship sophomore and junior year, it was just like, man, this is our last chance. After our loss our junior season, the whole summer, would always work out. Everything was just so like focused on like not like failing again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Over the cost of like our chest of our, we always get like shirts at new like dry fit shirts every season. So over the cross of our chest, it had the words finish. So the two seasons that we lost, we just weren't finishing. Unfortunately, we lost like our seniors. They didn't have a chance to come back to this championship. So the drive was really just, getting back. Just yeah. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we wanted
Again,
that.
it's a long off season, and you remember that it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. So you want to
It
get back,
does.
and you just you
Two
want to
times, yeah.
finish, like you said, you want to finish. You want to finish the unfinished business, and you want to
Exactly.
finish the job. And you guys were finally able to accomplish that. And again, remarkable stats both on the offensive and defensive. I gotta ask, so at URI, I'm not sure. You plan on playing both positions, sticking with both linebacker and running back, correct?
I think I'm gonna play more just linebacker,
I got you.
just
Okay.
staying on the defensive side of the ball.
I
So
got
that's
you.
gonna be a lot of fun, just focusing on one position. Um, I have talked actually no, yeah, just linebacker. So yeah.
Yeah. So have you talked with the linebackers, coaches, and defensive
Oh yeah,
coordinators
Coach
and know that?
Laurenti, me,
Yep,
yeah, yeah, yes, sir. Of
that's
course.
awesome. Yeah, we're definitely losing some talent there. So I think you fit in right at a good time, and I think again, I'm excited to see what you can accomplish. You mentioned Leonard Fournette. Is there a player on the defensive end that you kind of study or watch,
Um,
or the defensive side of
man,
the ball?
like Ray Lewis,
Okay,
Aaron Donald. I used to love rushing the edge. I'm sorry.
you good. You
So
good.
like just like those type of players, just the strong, they're gonna overpower you, but also they know they study the game a whole lot. So I really like I find them like inspirational. So
Yeah,
I
and I
kind of like
think go ahead.
I kind of like follow my game with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I think also to that point, and just a few more questions to that point. I think knowing how the offense operates, knowing being an offensive player, it's only going to help you defensively as well. Like because
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
studying those playbooks and you've experienced that before. You've been there.
Yes,
So I
sir.
think that just will make you a better defensive player in the end as well. So and it sounds like you're really passionate about being a linebacker and
Yeah.
studying some of those guys that you mentioned in the past. So that's pretty cool.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I gotta ask, following the season, you were named Rhode Island Gatorade High School Football Player of the Year. I mean, what does that honor mean to you?
It means a whole lot. I mean, uh, it's just like it's kind of like crazy to me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Um, honestly, I'm thankful for like the position I was in, and the people who surrounded me these past couple of years. Um, it was always like um, not as if like somebody was looking up to me. I mean, like I've always played the game. I've always like worked hard, but it was always like somebody's right next to me, just pushing me. You know what I mean? Like one of my closest teammates, Ethan McCann. Um, I feel like it started all the way back like my freshman year. After our freshman year, um, me and Ethan would go to the field. We would wake each other up. Then we'll go on a run. We'll take a jog down to a field, and then we'll just start working out. And anytime like I was slacking, he'll pick me up. Yo, bro, you gotta push. You gotta keep going. And it was just like from there. Um, Now Chris would come, and a whole bunch of like different teammates would just come to these workouts, and it was just like always they were always pushing me, always driving me to be a better player than I already am. And man, I'm just thankful for them. Honestly, I feel like I wouldn't really have the same mindset like going into games if like they weren't like, yo, bro, you could do way better than like what you're doing right now and stuff like that. It was always like constructive criticism, and they just made me a better player than what I am.
Yeah,
So
I think
yeah,
that's yeah.
what I was.
Right. Yeah, that's a great answer. I think, when you look back and reflect on your development and, from where you got from point A to point B, you have to, be reminded of the support system. I mean, that's so important. And again, I think it must be a rewarding feeling, now having
Yeah,
that honor and, having the opportunity to play Division I football. You have
definitely.
to kind of remember, where it all started and again, who the people around you were to push you to get better every single day. And that's, another why essentially or motivation, just to get better and to have that support system. So, sounds like, you were really
Yes,
lucky to
sir.
have that and it sounds
Yeah,
very cool.
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure. Two more questions for you. So you're committed to join Rhode Island as we talked about the program. What are you most looking forward to about playing for Coach Fleming and just being here in front of the fans here in Kingston?
Man, I'm the most exciting part is just like the development. A lot of people go into Rhode Island and just like develop into like way better players. So I'm excited to go down there, develop, and just work hard, and just play with a team that I assume call family. You know what I mean? So I'm excited, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah, to develop, build new bonds, and just be around a whole bunch of people that love the game. You know what I mean? And
100%.
are dedicated. Yeah,
100%. Enjoy it. I mean, it flies by. I'm sitting here as a second semester senior. It flies by. It's crazy. But
yeah,
just definitely enjoy it. Take it all in. it's definitely going to be a memorable time for you and for the team. I mean, I'm expecting definitely a trip to the FCS playoffs, in your time there. We're getting
Yes,
there.
sir.
We're getting there. I
Yes,
think
sir.
there's definitely a chance to finally come to fruition and see that happen. So we'll
Yes,
see.
sir.
We'll see. One more question for you. Just gonna leave it here. Do you have a message, to the Rhody fans who may be watching this at home? And also, what can they expect from you come the fall?
What they could expect from me coming to fall, I'm gonna put in as much work as I possibly can. I'm gonna lift. I'm just gonna keep working. But once I touch the field, it's gonna be exciting. And I don't really like like talking about like what I'm gonna do. I just more so just do it. But just expect a lot, and I'm ready to play. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun and just hell of an experience
Yeah,
at Rhode Island.
short and sweet. There it is. Remember the name, Moses Meus. So,
Yes, sir.
Moses, thank you so much for taking the time. That's all
Thank
I
you.
got for you. Of course, I'll definitely stay in touch. Definitely looking forward to seeing your career unfold at URI. Best of luck with the remainder of this year at high school. You're in the basketball season right now. Is that
Yeah, yes, sir.
all right? So best of
Yeah.
luck with that. Looking forward to seeing you at Meade Stadium in the fall and go Rhody.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Go, Rhody.
Thank you.